Tonight on the CBS3 News at 10, no more deaths. We hear from those involved with Minnesota's newly established Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women Task Force. Plus, a fire during last night's winter blizzard displaced 3 Duluth families. Why the loss is so hard. And getting into the holiday spirit, some Northland nurses surprised their patients with something special for the holidays.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 10.
Good evening, I'm John Cardinale. Kristen is off for the holidays. Thanks for joining us. The Duluth apartment fire we first reported on at this time last night has left several people without a home this Christmas Eve. The fire on 28th Avenue West left 3 families displaced and without many of their belongings. When crews arrived at the scene, they saw fire and heavy smoke. They believe the fire started in the basement, spreading to the first and second floors and then to the attic. 3 families were in the building when the fire broke out. Fire officials say all of them made it out safely. The Red Cross gave them food, clothing, and shelter. Duluth Assistant Fire Chief Dennis Edwards says fires that displace people are hard at any time of the year, but with Christmas right around the corner, this one is one of the hardest.
I just want to say we all from the Duluth Fire Department feel so bad for the 3 family groups that were living in this building and now have lost probably nearly everything they own and their home.
Residents we spoke with say they couldn't believe it when they smelled the smoke and saw the flames.
I ran to the door and opened up the basement door, and a big old plume of smoke, black smoke, just came at me.
And I heard fire, and I was like, we're not on fire. We're not on fire, what? And then I look up, and he opens that door, all that smoke comes out, and then that initial blast came out, and then you could just see red.
The residents tell us despite losing their home and belongings, they're just thankful everyone made it out safely. And it was a busy Christmas Eve night for fire crews on the Iron Range. According to the Northland Firewire, flames broke out at a home on 8th Street South in Virginia around 6 tonight. Firefighters arrived to heavy smoke and flames coming from the 2nd story before putting it out. No word on the extent of damage. No one was hurt, and the cause is under investigation. Just minutes later, a second house fire broke out in Evelyn on Summit Street. According to the Firewire, 6 departments responded but put the fire out, but not before about $30,000 in damage was done. No one was hurt, and the cause is under investigation. In political news, President Trump is spending the holidays at his resort in Florida, and CBS News has confirmed the stimulus bill is being flown to him in case he decides to sign it. This week, the president demanded Congress amend the package to increase the dollar amount of direct stimulus payments, but an attempt to do that on the House floor failed earlier today. Skylar Henry reports from Capitol Hill.
A very Merry Christmas.
The President and First Lady addressed the COVID crisis in a tweeted Christmas message.
We are delivering millions of doses of a safe and effective vaccine that will soon end this terrible pandemic.
House Democrats' effort to increase stimulus payments from $600 to $2,000 was blocked Thursday morning by Republicans.
$600 is certainly not enough for individuals who have been struggling these past 7 months.
The move came days after President Trump put the fate of the COVID relief bill in jeopardy by demanding the higher payments after Congress had passed it. The package is attached to a larger spending bill, and without action from the president or Congress, the government could face a shutdown Monday at midnight.
I hope the president looks at this again and reaches that conclusion that the best thing to do is to sign the bill.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi announced lawmakers will return Monday to vote on a standalone bill to increase the stimulus payments. They'll also try to override the president's veto of an essential defense bill.
Wednesday night, President Trump announced another round of controversial pardons. He pardoned 2 of his former 2016 campaign associates, Paul Manafort and Roger Stone. Both were prosecuted in connection to special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation of Russia's meddling in the 2016 presidential election. Manafort served around 2 years on tax and bank fraud charges, and Stone was convicted of witness tampering and lying to Congress.
Roger Stone was treated very unfairly, in my opinion.
The president also pardoned Jared Kushner's father, Charles Kushner, who pleaded guilty to witness retaliation and tax charges in 2005. Republican Senator Ben Sasse of Nebraska wrote in a statement, "This is rotten to the core."
President-elect Joe Biden met with his transition advisors today while spending the holiday at his home in Delaware. Shifting gears now from politics to weather, we're going to check in with Dave. Dave, it's a chilly night out there.
Yeah, and that wind chill advisory we spoke about earlier has been expanded, so we need to see who's now in the cool zone. And we're going to say cool because bitterly cold is an actual air temperature of 30 below by our standards. Well, the feels like temperatures could get towards 30 below tonight thanks to the wind chill factor in northern Minnesota and Douglas County, Wisconsin. And so counties affected include in Minnesota, Lake and Cook, and parts of St. Louis to the south, and parts of Itasca, Carlton, and Pine. That's in effect through tomorrow morning, so bundle up if you have to do a late night run here to meet Santa halfway. And then in Wisconsin and Michigan, yeah, till midnight, we're still looking at a winter storm warning continuing from Iron County in through Ashland County and through Iron County towards Gogebic County. Hopefully that wraps up there. That's really been knocking the roads down in that neck of the woods. Roads have been improving from west to east in Minnesota slowly, but still a bit iffy in Wisconsin, and now reported as icy towards the UP. So again, late night travelers, do so cautiously or just ride it out. For Friday, Christmas Day, it should be clear to partly cloudy thanks to high pressure. Starts pretty cold, actual air temperatures near 10 below, but the finish of 17 is pretty close to normal. Is that the sign of a warm-up coming? I'll let you know which way it'll go coming up in a few more minutes.
All right, thanks, Dave. And those cold temperatures Dave was talking about, they can take a toll on the human body quite quickly. Duluth firefighters say the risk of frostbite and hypothermia are very real in this weather. If you feel numb, have discoloration, or you're shivering uncontrollably, you should get inside as quick as possible. Firefighters say it's also important to keep your pets safe.
Making sure that they're being taken care of, that they're being kept inside. You're not leaving them in a vehicle out in the cold. And if you are out walking your dog or you have your pet outside, that you're aware of how cold it is and that you're not leaving them outside too long, and be monitoring for things like shivering and any other signs that the animal might need to come in and get warmed up.
And if you do have to travel, make sure your car has a kit with food, water, blankets, and more in case you get stranded. On a road to 0 deaths. That is the goal of Minnesota's newly established Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women Task Force that was signed in by Governor Tim Walz last year. Since then, the members have been at work analyzing data and working towards a solution to protect Indigenous women. CBS3's Natalie Grant spoke with members of the task force about their findings and what still needs to be done.
A silent epidemic brought into the spotlight. Indigenous women and girls are far more likely to experience violence or be murdered than any other group in Minnesota. That's why last year the governor and lieutenant governor assembled a task force to combat the issue.
We also did in-depth interviews, whether it was law enforcement officials, healthcare officials, advocates, survivors, family members that have lost relatives, and started to break down what the actual issues were at hand.
Sheila Lamb and the rest of the task force heard stories and analyzed data to create a list of findings for the governor.
One of the big things that we found out through community was the lack of community and individual education on things like sex trafficking and missing and murdered Indigenous women, girls, and young men.
The findings range from education to poverty to systemic racism. The way that the data is shared is also a key problem.
Because it can be different from county to county, county to state, and then to involve the smaller cities or municipalities into that also, and to make sure that essentially nothing falls through the cracks.
Sealing the cracks on a problem centuries long may take time, but members hope that their recommendations are the first step in saving lives.
We have to get down to the core of all the infection and be able to address that and get the infection out of there in order to make the biggest change possible and address the actual needs fully.
The task force has submitted their recommendations to the legislature, who will decide whether they'll be implemented. Being in the hospital during the holidays is tough, but some Duluth nurses set out to make their patients' day just a bit brighter. Hillary Nelson and Sarah Holland work at St. Luke's. They spent the day playing music for patients throughout the hospital. In a year where so much has changed, they said it was great to still celebrate the spirit of the season. And tonight is the last night of our Rescue Christmas campaign and your last chance to support the Salvation Army. The Red Kettle campaign ends tonight, and if you missed your chance to give in person, you can still donate online. It's really not too late. All of the money stays local. The Duluth Salvation Army's goal this year is $215,000, and we learned tonight that that goal has already been broken. They've raised more than $223,000 so far. Good job to everyone here in the Northland that donated. All of that money will go towards supporting many programs, from housing assistance to daily hot lunches. Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, many Northlanders like the cold. Learn how some 4th grade students are embracing the elements and learning outside.
Record low is 24 below from 1924, and will be fairly chilly tomorrow morning, around 15 below for some towns. Not quite record territory. Will it last or will it go away? We'll show you the 7-day forecast to show you which way the winds will blow and the temperatures will go coming up after you look at this green snow.
Live, local, CBS 3 News at 10 with Kristen Vaki, Anthony Matt, Kelly Hinson, and weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson on Live, local, CBS 3. Watch Jeopardy at 4:30, followed by CBS 3 Live at 5 on Live, local, CBS 3.
Welcome to Medical Insight, a weekly healthcare feature brought to you by the experts at Essentia Health. Here's your host, Louis St. George.
Today on Medical Insight, Essentia Health cardiologists Kalkadan Bishu and Kimberly Boddicker talk about the Mitra Clip, a transformative technology that treats congestive heart failure in a minimally invasive way.
The Mitra Clip is a small device that is used to treat a leaky valve in the heart.
It is placed inside via a catheter, so no open incisions. The catheter goes up to the heart, and then basically the clip pulls the 2 leaflets of the valve together.
Really, its job is to hold the 2 mitral valve leaflets together and keep blood from going in the wrong direction, backwards into the left atrium and then the lungs.
Symptoms of severe leakiness include increased fluid retention, bloated bellies, swollen legs, problems sleeping, shortness of breath, an irregular heartbeat, and fatigue.
So by getting rid of this leakage, we can improve the pressure within the left atrium and within the blood vessels inside the lungs, and thus improve shortness of breath symptoms. So the goal is to improve symptoms, and with improvement in symptoms, patients are able to do more and thus improve quality of life.
Oftentimes, we can see a result while we're still in the lab doing the procedure. So people who are sick enough to require the mitral clip, a lot of their blood flow is going backwards every time the heart squeezes, even though it's supposed to be going forwards. And so we measure that real time by blood pressure monitoring, by other catheters in the heart. And oftentimes, as soon as we close that, their blood pressure improves, and we can tell that the fluid levels or the blood levels are moving in the right direction.
For Medical Insight, I'm Louis St. George.
To learn more about this and other health topics, visit essentiahealth.org/medicalinsight.
I don't think any other year is ever going to be like 2020. I never thought that I would go through something like this ever in my life. This pandemic's not a isolated thing to our country or to our state or to our city. This is something that's affecting the world. And that just shows really how interconnected we all are. And I think that's why news is so important, because news is kind of like that lifeline to kind of bring that information out and bring us all together.
Watch Jenna and Caitlin in the morning at 5 and 6 a.m. CBS 3 weather is brought to you by Lulich Implement. Now, the CBS 3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Well, yesterday, all heck was breaking loose around here. High winds, damage for some places, unfortunately. But now, today, with higher pressure taking over and the low departing, at least on the Minnesota side of the border, it became a very beautiful day. And since it's Christmas, a lot of old friends are coming home. My old classmate, Val Scala Walker, she went home towards Ely and Winton, went to the Quishway, found it was a nice day there, got this picture of Quishway Falls. And so for all those prodigal sons and daughters who have come home for the holidays, welcome. It'll be a little bit brisk, but the strongest, the most potent weather is over for most of us, though the snow chance does still linger for another hour and a half or so towards the snow belt. We'll show you that in just a little bit. But right now, of course, we've got this live local look at what's going on over towards Ashland. And yeah, the snow's been adding up there in the snow belt. They've been bearing the brunt of this storm. We didn't do too badly for snow in Minnesota yesterday, but folks from the Bayfield Peninsula in through the Upper Peninsula still getting some snow for, like I mentioned, for another hour and a half. That was our look at the current conditions, which actually I'm going to back up on that here and take another quick look at it and see what happens as far as temperatures up at the airport. 7 below, 72% for the relative humidity. North wind 9 miles per hour, and our air pressure getting towards the high side at 30.15, at least here in Duluth. And hopefully after midnight then it starts to go up for the snow belt as well, and folks there get a chance to do some shoveling. Now, the other thing to talk about tonight, along with that lingering snow chance, is cold temperatures coming our way. The hot spot, the tropical zone, is Upper Peninsula, 8 to 9 above there. And in northern Wisconsin, already starting to get chilly towards Superior, 4 below. Still as warm as 7 to 9, though, for the Bayfield Peninsula. Cloquet's down to 8 below, so is Moose Lake. Silver Bay's there as well. Almost 20 below now towards Ely and or 20 below has already been achieved there in Big Fork. And bottom line is, I was thinking 15 below inland. Now it looks like 20 below is what we're going to be getting in Minnesota, but probably a little bit warmer in northern Wisconsin and the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Well, Doppler map right now shows the clearer sky, helping cool things down in Minnesota. And as we take a look towards the snow belt here, yeah, there's still, especially in northern Iron County, is going to be a chance for another hour and a half's worth of lake effect snow. But yeah, hopefully that dries up by tomorrow, and as you're opening presents, maybe you get a new shovel or a snow blower there and get out and clean that up. Some folks have been getting close to a foot of snow in the snow belt, but once we get in through the first half of the weekend, higher pressure should keep us cool but dry. That's Saturday. Second half, little Alberta Clipper could bring a light snow chance on Sunday, but it's only a 30% shot. Tonight in Minnesota, I'm thinking now 20 below to about 0 here. Colder inland, warmer by the lake. That's Minnesota. Wisconsin, Michigan, about 10 below inland to 0 by the lake. And that South Shore snow should end after midnight. Tomorrow's high temps will bounce back in the afternoon with sunshine in Wisconsin and Michigan. We might hit 20. And it should go from about 15 to 20 in Minnesota with sunshine. So it should be a beautiful Christmas day. Then for Saturday, not so bad, 20, a little bit cloudier. Slight flurry chance on Sunday. John will go back below 0 a little bit for Monday and Tuesday. And then next Wednesday and Thursday, yeah, there's another chance of snow coming in. Right now, looks to be just a 40% chance, but there are some signs saying that it'll try to rival yesterday's system. So we split the difference, big, little, medium. We'll keep watching it until it gets closer.
Well, it's a nice cold night tonight. Turn on the fireplace, watch a Christmas movie, have some hot cocoa, some coffee, whatever you enjoy, right?
That is a good point, John.
All right, perfect. Thank you, Dave. A new environment-focused class in the Northland is helping children stray away from their virtual learning devices and step outside for Mother Nature to do the teaching. CBS 3's Leanne Valdez explains how Mr. Marone's 4th grade class at Pike Lake Elementary is getting a hands-on experience virtually.
You just get to learn a bunch of stuff. It's not just like sitting in your classroom all day.
Schooling in 2020 is different.
Being on the Chromebook isn't my favorite thing. So.
Though most classes are now virtual, Mr. Marone's 4th grade class at Pike Lake Elementary is still managing to get outside.
Getting to go outside is really nice.
Through a phonology class.
The phonology class that we do is really an opportunity to have kids learn, but use the outdoors. I mean, literally right out back, our back door, use that as our classroom.
Before the pandemic shifted things around, the 4th grade class would go outside and be one with nature.
They would come in and there's always a journal that they start with, and we make our observations. And so we'll record the time and temperature and conditions, sky conditions.
Now the students have to take it upon themselves to get outside, and they do.
I see a lot of chickadees at our bird feeder. Usually it's like, oh, there's a chickadee, but then you would observe like what seed it's eating.
Mr. Marone says this type of learning sparks students' curiosity and inspires them to want to learn in other classes.
If you have one subject that the kids are really desiring to work hard on, I've seen it over the years translate into other classes.
Students also prepare a radio broadcast that is aired on KAXE radio in Grand Rapids.
Good morning. My name is Peyton. And my name is Madison. And this is our report for the week.
We learn, but just in an informal setting.
I observed a mother deer with a baby.
Maybe some broadcasters in the future there. Mr. Marone says he's gotten a lot of positive feedback from the kids on the class. Still to come on Live Local CBS3, a local Twin Ports organization spent the day honoring homeless lives lost. How you can help the organization.
CBS3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. You're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
The shopping is finished, the family is gathered, and there's magic in the air. Fleet Farm wishes you a very Merry Christmas. From baking cookies with Grandma to watching kids' eyes light up, and of course, enjoying time with family and friends. We'll be closed Christmas Day so our team members can celebrate with their loved ones. From all of us at Fleet Farm, thank you for letting us be a part of your holidays. Merry Christmas.
Arby's, 2 for $6. Every day, flame seared, Greek seasoned Euro meat. 2 of those things for just $6. Arby's, we have the meat.
As a person with a disability who values living independently and being safe,
it's great to know Access North has partnered with the Minnesota Department of Health to be a covert community coordinator.
Please help us protect people with disabilities and other vulnerable Minnesotans of all ages from COVID-19.
Contact Access North Center for Independent Living, your local COVID community coordinator resource for people with disabilities.
Mount Royal Market has express online shopping. Shop online and select your items. Your personal shopper carefully gathers everything on your list. Schedule your pickup and we deliver right to your car. Express online shopping from Mount Royal Market. Let us take care of you.
The world changed in an instant, but at MediaCom, we were ready. And as internet traffic increased, we never slowed down. Schools and businesses went virtual, and we powered a new reality. For more than 20 years, we've been building a future-ready network to keep you ahead of it all. And now, MediaCom will be among the first to take you to 10G. We're making the next giant leap forward in internet technology and taking you further than you can imagine.
Clearview has expanded options to access your own physician. You can be seen in person, and we would encourage you to do so if that's recommended by your provider. We also have telephone and virtual visits available, as well as e-visits. Certainly it is safe to come into our clinics or our emergency room if that is needed, and we've got enhanced safety measures to keep you safe when you do come. We do want patients to feel comfortable to receive the care that they need when they need it.
Fairview Range, we're here.
For coverage that matters most to you, tune to CBS3.
Move snow with your new John Deere from Duluth Lawn and Sport.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Let's check in with meteorologist Caitlin Moffett this morning.
And the below average trend
Thanks so much for joining us. So wake up with us starting at 5 a.m.
Watch Caitlin and Jenna in the morning at 5 and 6 a.m. on CBS3. When severe weather hits, tune to CBS3 for up-to-date coverage morning and night.
People without a home have had an especially tough time this year. Today, Chum honored 50 homeless community members in the Twin Ports who died in 2020. Usually, they hold a ceremony outside Duluth City Hall, but because of the pandemic, it was held virtually this year. Organizers say each and every person was special to their community.
They're all children of God. And if there's anything in preparing for this service that has dawned on me, it's that we can honor them in their death and also strive towards a better future.
If you'd like to make a donation of cold weather gear like jackets, hats, mittens, or boots, you can drop it off at Chum, and they're also taking monetary donations. We have a link set up on our website, cbs3duluth.com. And in sports, the Bucks look to bounce back at home against the Warriors. Plus, both the Badgers and the Gophers face tough conference foes. A full preview of all the Christmas Day games coming up with Neil Verspa right after the break.
The Kelly Clarkson Show right here.
Weekdays at 3 on CBS3.
Thanks for the ride to practice.
How often do you play?
As often as I can. But right now, I have to shop for a Medicare plan.
Well, UCare has a range of Medicare Advantage options, with plan premium starting at $0 a month. By the way, thanks for wearing your skate guard.
It's just hard to ride with my hockey bag, you know?
Oh, trust me, I know.
I'm Steve Little with Bath Planet. Safety is our top priority, so our workers are following all CDC guidelines to ensure the safety of both our customers and employees. Get your dream bathroom for $0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments till 2022. All of our products are backed by the Good Housekeeping Seal of Approval and come with a lifetime warranty. For a free estimate, call us today or go online to book your appointment. Bath Planet, out of this world service, down to earth price.
Heart attacks and strokes happen, even in the midst of COVID-19, and at least one will occur while you're watching this. Heart attacks and strokes are medical emergencies. If you experience symptoms of a heart attack or stroke, do not delay seeking care. Call 911 immediately. Hospitals are prepared and can safely treat you. Visit cdc.gov/coronavirus to learn more.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. I'm a better neighbor because my service has taught me to understand how important it is to be a team player. My training helps me at work when I lead by example. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Mining. It's a part of Minnesota's history that affects everyone in the Northland still to this day. From environmental issues to economics and so much more. Join me, Kristen Bakke, every Tuesday for Eye on Mining, a fair and unbiased report that answers the tough questions surrounding the world of mining.
Eye on Mining with Kristen Bakke. Tuesdays at 10 only on live local CBS3. Brought to you by Iron Mining Association.
For the fourth time in franchise history, the Minnesota Vikings will play on Christmas Day. But Santa's big day hasn't been so jolly for the team as Minnesota has posted a 1-2 record. Their last win on Christmas came in 1989 when they defeated the Cincinnati Bengals 29-21 in the first ever regular season game on Christmas Day in NFL history. And their last appearance was 15 years ago when they fell to the Baltimore Ravens 30-23. This year, the Vikings match up with the 10-4 New Orleans Saints, a team that Mike Zimmer says has talent all over the board.
You know, Sean he does such a great job with mixing the personnel groups and the plays and the same looks off the same plays, you know, which adds to Drew. You know, I think those two have a really good, I don't know if it's a marriage, but, you know, they work really well together. And, you know, and obviously they got Kamara and they got a bunch of good tight ends, good receivers.
The final injury report for the game came out today, and the Vikings will be thin at the linebacker position as Eric Kendricks remains out with a calf injury. Linebacker Troy Dye will also be out, as will tight end Kyle Rudolph and running back Alexander Madison. Fullback C.J. Ham is listed as questionable with a quad injury. As weird as it sounds, Packer fans will definitely be pulling for the Vikings tomorrow. A Saints loss clinches the 1 seed for Green Bay in the NFC playoffs. Either that or a Green Bay win over Tennessee on Sunday Night Football will do the trick, which could be a daunting task. The Packers have had trouble with elite running backs this season like Ronald Jones, Dalvin Cook, and Alvin Kamara. This week, they'll have to deal with Titans workhorse Derrick Henry.
If we get in a situation to where it's an open field tackle, you know, first guy just got to shoot his gun, and teammates got to rally around him. If one guy can't get him down, We all got to swarm to the ball.
And you really got to try to do a good job of taking the distance out. When he gets the ball outside, you got to squeeze that distance down so he can't have a lot of space to operate in. Because if he gets a lot of space, it's tough sledding.
The Bucks will also be in action tomorrow afternoon, looking for redemption after the loss to the Celtics yesterday. It's the third straight year the Bucks will be featured on Christmas Day after being passed over for 41 straight years. They lost to the 76ers last year, but beat the Knicks in 2018. This year, though, will be the first time they'll host a Christmas Day game since their expansion back in 1968. Giannis and the rest of the squad are ready to bounce back.
I want to play games. I want to work my game. I want to not work on my game against only my teammates, work on my game against, other players. The playoffs is 71 games away. The playoffs is 6 months away from that. So, but at the end of the day, I take it day by day, and I know that this is going to help me, put me in a good position to be ready.
The pros won't be the only ones to take the floor on Christmas Day, as both the Badgers and Gophers will be in action early on. A battle of top 25 teams as Wisconsin travels to East Lansing to play Michigan State. Then the nightcap, Minnesota will be looking to upset number 4 Iowa at the Barn. Now that's all for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
Change the future of medicine from the convenience of home. Join the All of Us research program to help improve health research and speed up medical breakthroughs. Visit essentialhealth.org/allofus to learn more.
Snow piles up quickly. Remove it just as quickly with Kubota subcompact and compact tractors. Our #1 selling tractors are built to take on winter with front and rear mount snow blowers, blades, and rotary sweepers. Get select Kubota subcompact or compact tractors for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 60 months and save $1,100 plus no payments for 90 days. See your local Kubota dealer today.
No one serves you better than Lulich Implement.
At Starkovich Distributing in Virginia, we want you to be safe, so please don't drink and drive. Have a designated driver or call a cab. It's not worth the risk. You could get arrested or hurt yourself or others. Don't drink and drive.
Your local Minnesota Coors distributor reminds you not to drink and drive this holiday weekend. If you plan on drinking, plan ahead. It's not worth the risk.
Please help us protect people with disabilities and other vulnerable Minnesotans of all ages from COVID-19.
Access North has partnered with the Minnesota Department of Health to be a covert community coordinator.
We all want to get back to normal as soon as possible, so please help us stop the spread by doing the right things to protect ourselves and others.
Contact Access North Center for Independent Living, your local COVID community coordinator resource for people with disabilities.
At Honda, we take the holidays seriously. Both with serious rugged performance and serious capability. So while others might be dreaming of winter wonderlands, you could be shattering expectations with the best value of the season. Now's the best time to get into a new Honda. KBB.com's best value brand for 2020. Visit Happy Honda Days at your local Honda dealer or shop online to get a great offer on the Pilot.
Hi. I'm Dr. Nick Van Dielen, Chief Medical Officer at St. Luke's. While the holidays might feel a little different this year, they can be just as magical. Let's take this time to enjoy the small things that make this season so special, and maybe even discover some new traditions. Thank you for everything you've done and continue to do to keep our community safe. From all of us at St. Luke's, have a safe, happy, and healthy holiday season.
Now, before we go tonight, get this. A homeowner fed up with thieving porch pirates enlisted the help of his cat's litter box to unleash a stinky sting operation. A Missouri man is sticking it to sticky-fingered porch pirates with used kitty litter. Bruce Watson was tired of seeing packages stolen in view of his doorbell camera, so he decided to answer the call of duty with duty, and it worked. Thieves took the bait twice in 1 week. One neighbor found the open package along with Bruce's note. I'm sorry, I can't hold it in right now. People say to ask for deliveries to be put out of sight to combat this common nuisance. What do you think of this, Dave? This is so crazy. I don't know what to think of this.
That's brilliant.
It is brilliant. but it's so out there.
Well, just hope it doesn't happen to you, you know.
Well, I'm not a porch pirate, Dave.
No, that somebody steals your packages, you know. Because you're always getting that stuff in the mail. Well, let's talk about stuff coming from the sky here, John. Folks in the snow belt could have another hour and a half worth of snow before they finally get a chance to settle down and cool down. It'll be below zero for just about every town tomorrow morning. But tomorrow afternoon, Christmas Day, we go towards 17. Then a little bit warmer Saturday. Next chance of light snow could be with us come Sunday. It's a 30% chance.
All right, thanks, Dave. You all have a Merry Christmas. That's the news for now.